Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we are going to be talking about Ron's Gone Wrong. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros. Uh, I, well, we haven't had a family movie in quite some time. I mean, the last one that came out was 3 weeks ago, and that was Adam's Family 2, which is definitely played out at this point. And, plus when it comes to competition, there's really nothing for this movie until Clifford, the Big Red Dog. That won't be till, like, second weekend of November. So it has time to, make some money, not deal with any other movies. God damn. I can't. It's hard to think about anything with this movie because all I can think about is Dune and how that's gonna do. Like, this whole movie just feels like an afterthought in comparison to what's going down with Dune. But I gotta talk about it anyway. But yeah, first pro, lack of competition. Second pro, the reviews for this are quite good actually. I think they're like it's like in the 80s last I checked. Maybe it's gone down, but his reviews are quite high. So I think that might convince some families to go out and watch it. Because for once we don't have like a crappy kids movie that basically insults kids' intelligence. Like, this movie actually feels like they actually gave a damn making it. So yeah, I would consider that a pro. The reviews. Uh, I think that's it. I think that's it. All right, cons. Now, I already mentioned, oh, we'll have the whole market to itself. It has no competition because it's, family movie. Here's the thing. In the pandemic, family movies, for the most part, have been doing terrible. Absolutely terrible. While other genres have recovered, mainly the horror genre and the action genre, and family movies have not been so lucky. What happened with Ray and the Last Dragon, Peter Rabbit 2, Space Jam 2, Boss Baby 2, all tanking to various degrees. And yeah, I was about to mention, Clifford being on the schedule, then removed from the schedule, now it's on the schedule again. And Hotel Transylvania 4 yeeting out of theaters entirely and going to Amazon. Yeah, it's not it's not great to be a family movie right now. It's just not. And I don't think this movie's going to change that. I don't think it's going to, improve the situation. So, yeah, that's an easy con. The family genre is just not so hot right now, and it probably won't be hot until next year at least. Yeah, so right now it's not a good time to be a family movie. So that's con number one. Con number two, it feels like, I don't know, like the advertisers aren't like, they're not pushing it hard enough. I don't know. Yeah, this whole movie just, it feels like an afterthought. It feels like you're just like, oh, the heck is that? Ron's Gone Wrong? Okay. Like, there's no big push behind it. It just kind of exists, which I feel like is because this is a 20th Century Studios movie. And as we've seen past few years since Disney, acquired Fox and all their various movies, um yeah, they a lot of these movies have tanked hard, mainly because Disney's just like, I don't know what to do with this. Throw it out there. Who cares? Like, it's not gonna hurt us in the bottom line. I think the only few movies they actually gave a damn about were Free Guy, Ford v Ferrari, and I think that's it. Every other movie tanked. because they either didn't know what to do with it or they just didn't care. And I feel like this is gonna fall into the they just didn't care category. You know, and that's not me like crapping on the movie. This is just me saying how Disney treats a lot of these movies that aren't theirs, that they are acquired or they adopted from the Fox merger. So yeah, I think that's another con. This being a 20th Century Studios movie, the hit to miss ratio leans heavily towards miss. So yeah, that's a another con. Third con, I don't know, this movie with the premise, it feels way too familiar in a way with the whole. Let's read the synopsis. A wonderful walking, talking, digitally connected bot sweeps the world, becomes every kid's new best friend. But when an 11-year-old boy ends up with one that doesn't work, his attempts to teach it become an exploration of what real friendship means in a world of algorithms and social media. Yeah, like with this whole robot being like this, kid's friend, it gave me serious Big Hero 6 vibes with, Hero and Baymax. Hell, like both the robots are white. They almost have like a similar design, except this robot has a mouth. Baymax does not. And plus, Baymax is, an inflatable, and this is not. But still, it felt very similar, too similar to me. And not to mention, we already had a movie about machines, like an animated movie about machines this year, Mitchell's versus the Machines on Netflix, right? So that again, like this movie is one of those animated movies that just it gives you a lot of deja vu of other animated movies, and that's unfortunate. But that's kind of what happens if you look just a tad too similar to something else. Then people are just gonna be like, "Oh, it looks like that movie." Like it doesn't feel like its own thing. And that sucks, but that's what happens sometimes. I mean, look at John Carter, for instance. Many people thought that movie was ripping off Star Wars and Star Trek and all of them, even though the original source material came out years before any of those franchises came into existence. But by the time the movie came out, the public didn't know that. They were just like, oh, this looks like a ripoff of this, and this. And I feel like something similar is happening here where people just like, oh, this is just taking stuff from this and this and this. And yeah, it's gonna really hurt it. So yeah, I would consider that a con, feeling being too familiar for some people. Uh what other cons can I say? Well, next weekend is going to be rough because it's Halloween weekend, usually one of the worst weekends all year long, and family movies tend to get hit the hardest that weekend for obvious reasons. Because guess what kids are doing? They're going trick or treating. They're not going to sit in the theater. Like they don't want to do that. So this movie's going to have a bit, probably a rough second weekend, and then maybe it might recover when it's third, and then Clifford is going to kill it in after that. So yeah, it's mm, yeah, it's not gonna be great. Its legs going forward. I don't know about its legs, but I could be wrong. But again, the Halloween weekend is just going to hurt this movie so bad, and then Clifford again is gonna kill it. But yeah. Okay, so opening weekend. Some people are saying 10 million. I think that's possible. More than possible. I mean, Adam's Family 2 kind of overperformed a bit. It opened with like 17 million, and that was with its whole simultaneous PVOD strategy. This doesn't have that. This is theaters only. So it's a little different. But yeah, I'm going to say 10 million too. maybe like a bit more, a bit less. I think 10 million is pretty realistic for this movie, I would say. So yeah, I'm gonna go with 10 million for opening weekend, and then overall probably reach uh darn, maybe 30 million if it's lucky. Yeah, 30 million total. Then I'll be it. So yeah. And I just realized I'm such a dummy. I forgot to mention the final uh you know the overall result for Dune, what I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be the same as Blade Runner 2049, like 90 million. Okay, I think I mentioned it'll probably be on the same level as Blade Runner 2049. So that's what I think for Dune. I didn't mention that in the original video. But yeah. Second time I made that mistake. I really need to get it together. So yeah, that's the end of the weekend. Just 2 movies. But next weekend, ooh, you're gonna have a lot of content from me. We got not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Count them, 4 movies. Actually, maybe 5, depending on how wide the French dispatch is. But at this point in time, 4 movies. Ugh. We got Antlers, we got Last Night in Soho, we got Mouthful of Air, we got My Hero Academia, Heroes Mission. I get to cover them all on what's likely going to be one of the weakest weekends all year. Well, for this year, won't be one of the weakest, but historically a terrible weekend to release a movie. So that's just dandy. And I can't wait to make all those videos. And then that'll be it for October. So yeah. Anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got a playlist on the homepage where I've covered pretty much all the family movies that came out this year. Peter Rabbit 2s, your Space Jam 2s, Boss Baby 2s, Tom and Jerry, Ray and the Last Dragon, Adam's Family 2. What else am I missing? Spirit Untamed, that's another one. Paw Patrol, the movie. How can I miss that? Yeah, Paw Patrol too. Yeah, I covered them all. So if you want to watch my predictions on those, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I made 2 videos. One about all the Disney shenanigans that went down with Marvel and Indiana Jones 5. And then another one I talked about a bunch of minor movies being delayed. So, well, those are parts 84 and 85. But if you want to watch any of the past canceled episodes I made to this point, because now there's a total of 85, so you got plenty to choose from. If you want to watch any of those, you can go right ahead. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. October recap will come out first week of November, right before the Eternals comes out, hopefully. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.